Alright, so we're gonna talk about dolls. By the end of this series, we will finally unbox these bitches. So I scroll on Twitter, doll, beautiful items, pretty things, all the things that you know I love. And I see this face, I believe, and I'm like, oh my god, where can I receive her? They're like, Yummyland. I go to Yummyland's Instagram. They're teasing these dolls, and I'm like, I must have her. I DM them, and I'm like, where can I buy them? They do not respond to this DM. Left unread. And after a couple days, they're like, you've been asking for it. You can buy them on our website. And I've never ordered directly from a doll website before. They've got two dolls. They've got this one for $9.99. And it's, you know, traditional size. These are both MGA dolls. They're comparable in size. This one's wearing platforms, but they're comparable in size. So $9.99, and there's no mystery element. Get to do some mild chemistry in lip gloss making. Who am I to judge? But I'm like, I need her. They've got another one, a big one. And I'm thinking it's gonna be like a standard, like fashion doll. They refuse to tell me the size. And I'm like, okay. Looking into it, Yummyland. Yummyland is in connection, is two different IP sets. So there's Yummyland, which is dolls that were in these bottles, which I also saw on TikTok. Thank you to the lovely Chic Plastic who bought some on eBay and unboxed them. So I was like, oh, they were once bottled. That's where the bottles come from. But they are also num-nums. Thinking, I'm like, oh my god, num-nums. I'm gonna have to do research into num-nums. What about the fucking Shopkins and Squinkies? This video is preamble to that in like the mini toy sector, because I don't remember if I said it first when I first started talking about LOL Surprise, or if I heard Lula Loopsy say it in their video. But we would not have these mini brand bitches. We wouldn't have these size women if we didn't first have these like tiny micro toys. So that's what we're covering today. The thing that got me here to knowing that these Yummyland dolls are currently cribbing nom-noms is because when you go to their Instagram and you scroll back to anything past what's new, and I do have screenshots of them so that I would be able to present them to the court in case they get wiped, is they were nom-noms. That's so weird that they're just like, boop, new. The ancestor of mini brands and things that look like a thing but are different. I'm not going to be covering mini brands because it's kind of an untreaded territory and didn't really interest me, but it's capitalism run amok. You know, people will buy unusable tiny version of a thing, and these companies get to license out their likeness for money. So we're gonna start with Squinkies. The Squinkies official Wikipedia toy wiki is so ominous. From the official toy wiki, Squinkies are rubber toys encapsulated in small plastic balls. They are made of many different shapes, including but not limited to animals, people, and food. They were first released in 2010 by a toy company, Blip, led by co-owners Bill Nichols and Peter Schimmel. They are a company of about 16 people and in Minnetonka, Minnesota, making a living making IP toys, which is very apparent once you see what really existed for them. Think Disney, think Transformers, think Power Rangers. When I say think Disney, I really mean think Disney. I think they have a Pixar collection, a Disney collection, a Marvel collection, which effectively from like 2012 forward is all just Disney, but they are all just like so teeny. They are the king of the collectible toy or small doll market. Squinkies are a part of the Disney Megaplex. Then there are Zinkies, an even smaller toy for playsets and vehicles of that same ilk, even smaller. And they tended to be boy colored with weapon, and they were red, which equaled Space Alliance, green, military crew, and gray robot forces. So back to the Wikipedia, being such a small company, they had to try harder than most companies to compete against giant corporations like Hasbro and Mattel, but with 8 years of experience in IPs gave them an advantage. Bill began researching for Squinkies by walking through toy stores and finding an opening in the collectible or small doll aisle. He then went to meetings with big retailers like Target, Toys R Us, and Walmart, and from the meeting with Walmart, he found that vending machine toys were popular in its Japanese division, Shietsu, and ran with the idea. He was also inspired by other collectible toy fads such as Suzy Pet. But like really, they're just like these itty bitty things. They're itty bitty versions of this thing you already know, and they're like Disney collections. The Squinkies are like so tiny, so cutesy. And then they have the boy line. I have them labeled if you look at my notes, I fucked up my notes. That's why it's said it like that. But the boy lines was also part of, there was Zinkies, and then there was the boy line that under each other. But they're even smaller little army men. I really remembered the Zwinkies with their DS games because that was the demographic where I'd switched from playing with dolls, playing video games mostly. So I'm like looking at them, I'm like, I know enough. I watch G4 TV. I know just enough about this to know that this is a baby game for babies and I shouldn't pay any attention. So I did. So I don't have any first-hand experience with them. But I'm sure you can find more information about this on the web elsewhere. Then we moved to Shopkins, and I would really appreciate if you checked out the Loopsies Shopkin video, deep dive into Shopkins, where did they go? If you want something a little more comprehensive and long form than this. But Shopkins were created by Moose Toys in 2014, and they're grocery store items, which again, tiny item that you are familiar with, but this is non-corporate and it's not like a collaboration, it's like a tiny fondue pot. It's a block of cheese with eyes. And the collection of toy models that thrives on so many releases a year. They were releasing constantly. It was a lot. There were so many that I am choosing for my own safety, well-being, and mental health not to go through all of them while I talk about this. So then attached to Shopkins is the Shopkins Shoppies from Doll Collect 20, and this information is collected from Doll Collect 2015. They were a spin-off of Shopkins. They were 6-inch dolls, removable clothes, and then they had even smaller dolls that were 3-inch dolls called Little Shoppies, made with plastic removable clothing that maybe was vinyl. And then they even had pets named Little Shopettes, and that was in 2018. They were from the Shoppies Wikipedia. They had codes attached to them that you could use in the app, which again, that's like the thing about Shopkins that I really remember is they were so multimedia, like in the same way Bratz were. Like I feel like for a time Shopkins was MGA's Bratz, where that was the thing where they were making money in to add to things. So like they had an app and you could collect them and you have a little person in your real life and then you have it in the game. Yeah, I did the research, so I wanted to make sure it was in here. So that's okay. Nom nom. And the technical reason that we are here, they are num noms. I can't read or write. They were created by MGA, labeled as from the creators of Lala Loopsy, which, you know, I want a Lala Loopsy doll. They are so cool. They're big old button eyes. I feel like that's the high I'm chasing, is I'm just looking for a big-eyed bitch. Like, when you read through the Wikipedia article, it is so deeply unserious. They're like, the nums are the larger creatures, so ominous, and the noms are the creatures born on top of them, and they're these little candy, like, ice cream dollop dudes with big old MGA LOL surprise-ish rainbow vomit surprise eyes. Like, this is all happening in the same time. So like Rainbow Poop Surprise is like 2015, but before that is like Nom Noms and Shopkins. Like these are all the market, you know. Rainbow High didn't just fall out of a coconut tree. It is a culmination of all that has come before it. I struggle to explain that these are animal styled like desserts. So it's like a monkey, but the monkey is ice cream, which we'll get into why they paired so well with the Yummy Land dolls. They are in fact that. They could be the little noms that are worn on top of the noms, could be toy, they could be eraser or filled with lipstick or stamps or lights. There were many different things that they could be, all of them to my parents' eyes wasteful. They have webtoon, but 2010's flat Flash CGI makes me queasy in a way that I cannot explain, so I will not be watching them. Maybe I will if you guys if you guys tell me you really want me to, you want to see me talk about them like I did with the old My Scenes videos. But like the latest I can do is like 2007 Barbie movies. I pick back up in like 2015. In that weird spot, it gets crazy. The eyes aren't tracking, there's an uncanny valley, no one's mouths are synced up. And to kind of get us over into the next section, we have Yummyland Pop. Yummyland Pop I was made aware of these vintage Yummyland dolls that were scented and themed after sodas. My wikiing has had no avail, so I went and looked through some British doll blogs, which I actually I'd heard ex-Canadex's talk about Doll Collect for a while, and hadn't really I haven't done a doll research video in a while, so I hadn't felt the need to go through it, but I did for this, and it was actually very useful. I will say off the top, they have a website. I can't access it because of Flashpoint. I won't be able to bring you any of that interesting footage. Like, the whole entire website is Flash. It's all Flash. I promote. I wish someone else would go and get that information and talk about it and show you all. Because I don't know either. From the British doll blog, ghostofthedoll.co.uk, post from April 17th, 2001. They are via the blog Ghost of. The important line was, in fact, the dolls are just very reminiscent of some of the food-themed dolls from the 80s and the kitties and the kitty-type dolls. I'll even forgive them for the resemblance to the related Bratz doll line, which they do kind of look like them. They definitely look like the 2010s dolls, but when I was scrolling through Doll Collect, you can kind of like look at them, and they've got like, I feel like I never saw them over here. I feel like I would remember that. I don't remember what they looked like from the 80s, even like in the 2000s. They had scented pets, soda poppets, which makes sense with the other ones. Actually, the pets' eyes look the most like the new MGA eyes, where it's got the little things, which I know the Squinkies, the Nom Noms also have. Going through the list of characters, we have Gabby, Grapelina, and Mimi Mango. Cha-Cha Chocolate Chihuahua, because it's the 2000s, and what's more 2000s than either a bulldog or a chihuahua. And Pan's Peaches Pug, Belinda Banana Anna, and Kim Curie Calico, Priscilla Vanilla Cream, and Melly Melon Monkey. Yikes. The cat's eyes are so odd and striking. Aside from the pet names, they have the shared thing with the lip gloss motif and soda bottles. And the soda bottles were their stands, which I think is really cool. And then I went through some Reddit and looking at the high quality photos of how they come in the packaging. Very rainbow dash in a jar core. Free heart. According to Reddit, they were released in 2006. That kind of gets us through our preamble, and now I can unbox these bitches and we can look at them. You'll see me when you see me. With that being said, you'll see me when you see me about some other things. I'm going to talk about some other dolls that I kind of ran into. I've been playing the LOL Surprise Dress Up doll, the like Dress to Impress knockoff. Kim Kardashian, Hollywood knockoff-ish game. I kind of dove into the history of that, so if you're interested in that, subscribe for more, and you'll hear more from me about other dolls and things coming in the future. Alright, bye guys.